Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. And it's Thursday. Thursday means I owe you guys that semi-competitive deck from this week. So, what did I build you guys? I built you guys those agents using some of the new stuff. I mean, like most of the new stuff between Ghost from the Past and what was it, Battle of Chaos. So, I'm going to do this one once. We're not going to be doing the test hands for it because I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. And I also wanted to get in the loot report video this week. So there's that. One second, there we go. And honestly, we're just going to run through the deck once with the descriptions as we go. Because again, I'm not so sure. You guys decide by the end of the week which one you guys like more. I'll probably just flip and flop accordingly. But it is what it is. So let's just get it. So first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be running a single copy of the new Majesty Hyperion. So number one, it looks sweet. I wish he'd focus. Maybe it's because my hands are in there. You can special summon this card from the hand or grave by banishing one agent monster from the hand, field, or grave. You can only special summon Majesty Hyperion once per turn this way. Any battle damage you take from battles involving your fairy monsters is also inflicted to your opponent, which is actually pretty nasty. Once per turn, you can banish one fairy monster from the hand or grave. Target a card in either graveyard, banish it. If Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in either graveyard, you can use this effect up to twice per turn. So one copy, why? He's kind of searchable. We'll get over that. Two, he's recurable. And three, he can only special summon himself once per turn. So again, with the Majesty Hyperion, the dark variant, it just kind of is what it is. He's also a really cool 8-star. So if you guys were thinking about maybe playing a tech variant where you guys do use more of these, maybe like a Chaos Boss monster deck, you could use this. You could use trade-ins in this deck very easily. We're also going to be using one copy of the original guy, Master Hyperion, the light variant. You can special summon this from the hand by banishing one agent from the hand, field, or grave. Once per turn, you can banish one light fairy from your grave, then target a card on the field, destroy that card. While Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can activate this effect up to twice. The other cool thing between these two is the stats are actually inverted. So whereas the Master Hyperion is 27 by 21, Majesty is 21 by 27. So they're definitely doing like the two sides of one coin thing. And I love how they're sort of turning into like fallen angels. So it's kind of a cool thematically. We are going to be using 3 copies of the Mystic Shine Ball. Again, because the Agent of Creation Venus is going to do some great things. And again, Battle of Chaos gave us the Agent of Destruction Venus. So these become even more like integral to your plays. And again, you guys could have these in common. You guys could have these in supers. I went with the new Ghost from the Past Ultras because again, just my favorite rarity. Real quick, let's go over the Agent of Creation Venus. We will be running 3 copies of her. You can pay 500 life points to special summon one Mystic Shine Ball from the hand or the deck. This could allow us to create some huge link plays, as well as just populating the field for other effects that we may be wanting to do. But again, this really does allow us to link better. And to keep up appearances, we're going to have to go with her flip side. So we're going to be playing 2 copies, Agent of Destruction Venus. This one is new. This one's actually a tuner, which adds synchro plays into the whole mix. So again, for every 500 you pay, you're going to be able to target a Mystic Shine Ball that is banished or in the graveyard, special summon them, but place them on the bottom of the deck when they leave the field. You can only use the one Agent of Destruction effect per turn and only once that turn. So of those 2 effects you could banish the Agent of Creation Venus from the graveyard to special summon this, or pay the life points in multiples of 5. Now the reason they did it this way, and this is good, they made this effect operate this way so that you couldn't sit there between the 2 and continually bounce. You could play the Agent of Creation, bop all 4 of the Mystic Shine Balls. You could. And then if you did like a link 3 somehow with your shines, and then you were able to play the Agent of Destruction in the same turn, they make it so you have to pay the multiples and one instance rather than picking and choosing the way you can with Agent of Creation. So it does end up balancing out the effects. Next up, we're going to be using 2 copies, Agent of Entropy, Uranus. This is going to be another tuner in our deck. It is going to be a 5-star. So everything increasing in 2s. If Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can special summon this from your hand. Once per turn, you could send the agent monster from the deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card's level becomes the monster's level till the end of the turn. So again, you could special summon both of these at the same time. That part's not once per turn. And then once per turn, you can pitch to level modulate. So again, we do have a 4-star in this deck. We have a couple 2-stars, so you can go to the even side of things. But again, that's just kind of up to you. My new favorite one, we're going to be running 3 copies, the Agent of Life Neptune. 1-star, you can discard this card, special summon 1 the agent from hand or grave with different name. Or, if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in the grave, special summon a Hyperion monster card instead. And again, so this would be like Majesty, Master, or even our new, I want to say it was Master Flare. Give me a second. It is Master Flare from our synchros. So again, we can recur those guys. Neither player contributes attribute a monster summoned with this effect until the end of the opponent's next turn. So it essentially makes a kaiju proof, which is kind of nasty. And in addition, if this card is banished, you can add 1 Sanctuary in the Sky from deck to hand, each effect once per turn. So again, you could banish this for like the Master Hyperion effect, get a destroy, and go ahead and grab your field spell. So again, fantastic card. Maximize it at 3. I'm running 1 copy Agent of Miracles Jupiter. Partly to do like a synchro play to go to 8. Just because it is easier. But also just because like it's a good card anyway. Once per turn, banish 1 the agent from your graveyard. Target a light fairy that you control. The targeted monster gains 800 until the end of the turn. Once per turn, discard 1 fairy monster, then target 1 of your banished light fairy monsters. Special summon that card. Sanctuary in the Sky must be on the field to activate and resolve that second effect. So again, he's good. He's not great. And this would be the way that you would go from Agent Venus into a link to Agent of Destruction Venus with some shine balls to then being able to maybe play your Jupiter to get back your Agent of Creation again. Get the shine balls back out of your deck. We are going to be using 2 copies of Mystery Earth. This is going to be another one of our tuners. This is going to be our 2-star tuner. When this is normal summoned, add 1 the agent from the deck to the hand except same name. Or if Sanctuary in the Sky is active on the field, you can add Master Hyperion from deck instead. So that's good. And then on the tech side, we are going to be using 1 copy Arc Lord Christia. For those of you that don't remember this, if you have exactly 4 fairies in the grave, you can special summon this from the hand. We got another way, don't worry. This is going to be awesome. When you do target a fairy monster in the graveyard, add that to your hand. So again, that could be good. While it's on the field, neither player can special summon monsters. Also control aspect. And then if this card would be sent from the field to the graveyard, then you return it to the top of the deck instead. So again, taking that 1 card back out of the graveyard gives you 3 fairies. And if you could toss 1 more fairy, next turn you can special summon Christia right back and go right back to locking the field. We're also going to be using 3 copies of Ash Blossom because I'm a jerk who doesn't like to keep things to a budget. And 1 copy Hecatrice. Hecatrice allows us to discard itself to add for the continuous spell Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen, from our deck to the hand. And again, since it's not a main aspect, we are only going to be using 1 copy. So real quick, guys, take your screen cap, take the pause button, whatever you got to do, make your notes. We'll be back with our spell traps. All right, coming back at it, we are going to start with a couple of very easy ones. We do have our Called by the Grave. We do have our Monster Reborn. Again, simple. We want a combo. We want to play through a hand trap. Obviously, Recursion is going to be great. It's going to help us build bigger boards towards the end of the game. Let's talk over some new cards. Let's talk 2 copies, Chorus in the Sky. When you activate this, pay 1,000 life points, target a fairy in the grave, add it back to the hand, and then if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or grave, add one of your banished Sanctuary in the Sky or card that mentions it in text back to your hand. You can only activate one of these per turn. Again, this creates some advantage. It's awesome. Play it. 3 copies, Sacred Waters in the Sky. Oh my goodness, is this one good? Activate a Sanctuary in the Sky directly from your deck, or add 1 monster that mentions it from your deck to the hand. Then, if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in the graveyard, then you can gain 500 life points for every Hyperion and the agent monster that you control. If your monster that mentions the Sanctuary in the Sky would be destroyed by battle, you may banish this from the graveyard instead. Use this card with each effect once per turn. Guys, it is a tutor. It is terraforming. It plays it from your deck, or it tutors a card to your hand, or it protects a monster afterward. Maximize the crap out of this one. This is important. This is one of the best cards out of the new set. Even if you're not going to play any of the other new cards, play this one. Again, we do need a copy of Sanctuary in the Sky. Now, we are going to only run 1 copy because, again, this is going to allow us to play it directly. But we actually don't need to, because there are going to be like a couple of other cards that are going to count as it. But as long as we are playing it, let's go over the effect. Battle damage to the controller of a fairy-type monster from a battle involving that fairy monster becomes 0. So if you do run over one of my monsters, I'll take 0 damage. However, if Majesty's on the board, we would both take, X damage. I take 0, you take the X. So it's going to have an effect. And of course, other cards gain effects for having it. Let's talk over some of the substitutes. One of them is going to be one of my counter trap favorites, Sanctum of Parshath. This name is always going to be Sanctuary in Sky on field and grave. Fairy monsters on the field gain 300 defense and attack. This is amazing. Set spell traps cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So, just right there, that's a wrap. It's a good card. What are we doing afterward? Once per turn, you could target a total of 3 fairies and or counter traps with different names in the graveyard. Place them on the top of your deck in any order. Guys, we can recur things. And then if you're going to use Venus anyway, because it's on the field, then, as long as it's the creation, you get the deck shuffle afterward. Just put the 1 card you want on the top, shuffle the rest around. It's fantastic. Okay, and then 2 copies of Valhalla. This doesn't count for anything. What it does is once per turn, if you control no monsters, then you can special summon a fairy from your hand. And this is another great way to just put Arc Lord Christia on the board early and just really mess with the opponent. Like an obnoxious way of just messing with the opponent. Like super obnoxious. We might do this later, like a whole nother deck just based on Valhalla control, because it's possible. Let's talk about the 4 trap cards. Let's get this back up to a 40 card build. 2 copies Divine Punishment. And again, when a spell trap or monster effect is activated while Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, remembering Sanctum of Parshath and Sanctuary of the Sky both counting, we get to negate and destroy. And then with Sanctum of Parshath, this could be one of the 3 cards we show the opponent. And then we can go ahead and do it like a deck shuffle. It doesn't even matter. And then we could just recur this repetitively. So again, do I want Solemn Judgment? Kinda. Do I want to pay for Solemn Judgment? Not if I could do it for free, guys. And then last up, 2 copies Fallen Sanctuary. This is another new card with a whole paragraph. So let's get through it. When this card is activated, set 1 Sanctuary of the Sky or spell trap that mentions it directly from your deck. So when we activate this, we can add set Divine Punishment. Think about that. This card's name then becomes Sanctuary in the Sky while on the field or in the graveyard, which means now we can activate the Divine Punishment and everything else. You can banish one fairy monster from the graveyard, target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate the effects until the end of the turn, even if this leaves the field. Use this effect once per turn. You can only activate one copy of this per turn. Guys, play it. It's super amazing. So go ahead, again, just real quick. Pictures, screenshots, notes, pause it, do it. Thank you. Be right back with the extra deck. All right, guys, and before we get into the extra deck, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and really sharing this time with me today. If you guys do want to support the channel, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, do all of the things, or do none of them and just have a great day. Either way, let's get the last part of the deck out of the way for you guys. So we are going to be using Borreload Savage Dragon because we can link, and I do like negates. And again, like I said, I did want some of my upcoming decks to be a little more fangish, a little more bite to them. This card's going to help us. So 8-star, generic synchro. If this is synchro summoned, equip a link from the graveyard to this. Plays borrow counters equal to the link rating on this. This gains attack equal to half the equipped monster's attack. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, remove counter, negate. You can only use this effect once per turn. So again, just run one. Again, because we do the crazy star levels, we have this great 7-star with the FA Dawn Dragster. Again, generic. Let's talk over the effect that you need to know. Gain attack equal to level times 3, so it'll be started at 21. Do not need to know about the piercing damage because we don't do that. You can decrease, once per turn when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or effect, reduce this card's level by 2. If dude, negate, and destroy the card. So again, we do want to set up some negates. So we do have the level 8. We have the level 7. Let's talk about our level 5 cool card, the High Speed Roid Kambara or Chanbara. It's a very cool looking dagger. I love it. It can make a second attack every battle phase. Love that. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles, it gains 200 attack. It doesn't say till the end of the turn, so it keeps it. It just keeps getting bigger. If this is sent to the graveyard, target one of your banished Speedroids. Doesn't matter, we don't use it. You can only special summon one of these per turn. Again, we're only going to use one, so it doesn't matter. Next up will be the Master Flare Hyperion. And just real quick, I want to say this was 10 stars, but 2, 5, 10. Yeah. So tuner plus non-tuner fairies. You can send one agent or monster dimension, Sanctuary and Sky from hand deck or extra to the graveyard until the end phase. This card's name becomes that monster's original name. Replace this effect with that monster's original effects. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, banish a fairy from the hand or grave. Target one card on the field, banish it. Each effect once per turn. So again, huge boss level card. But again, just play the one. You don't need to play two. I don't know if I'm supposed to say executor or executor of the underworld. I would say executor, like he runs it. Pluto. And this one's actually going to remain a tuner while being a synchro. So if you guys are thinking about how Fibrax plays, this should happen. This card is also always considered one of the agents. Once per turn, banish one monster in your graveyard. Target an effect monster on the field, change it to face down defense. This is a quick effect if Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field or grave. You can banish this card from the graveyard. Add one Sanctuary in the Sky from deck or grave to hand. Effect once per turn. So again, cool. In tech. So you only need one. And the rest of this is fairly self-explanatory. We're only going to explain one of them. I'm going to run through these now. The rest are all links. We are going to use Apollosa. We are going to use Boral Sword, IP Masquerena, Imduck. Forget most of what you see here. We're using this as a way of turning a normal monster, except a token, into a link, so it gains an effect. This is one of the ways in which we're going to be able to create some of our other things off the shine balls. Phoenix, Unicorn, Link Spider. And Link Spider is here for two reasons. One, because again, we can do this off a normal monster. And if we end up with the other shine ball in our hand, rather than pay the extra 500, use the effect, summon it behind it, and then change it into Imduck. It's fine. Know the play. It's not that hard. 2 copies Protector of the Agents of the Moon. Sorry, Protector of the Agents of the Moon. Any 2 fairies. If it is link summoned, you could send 1 Sanctuary in the Sky or 1 card that mentions it from deck to grave. Or if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in either grave, you can add 1 Agent Mystery Earth from deck or grave to hand instead. You contribute 1 fairy monster. Target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. Each effect once per turn. Again, not the worst strength of a Link 2 at 1800. So, pretty cool. I love the whole twinsy look. And just real quick, because Celestial Duelist loves this archetype, she brought this up. She said they are basically twins as the way that their art sort of works. And I got to agree. And then, of course, last one, if you can afford it, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. If you can't, guys, just pick up another big one. Because the way this deck can multiply and do things real quick. Saryuja is actually a really good choice. Avermax can work. Access Code Talker if you got it. Personally, this is the card I have. So this is the card I went with. So again, one more time, thank you for stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed this. No test hands tomorrow on this. This one's actually very self-explanatory since everything is still really new and everything. And hopefully I'll get to see you guys tomorrow on Loot Report, okay? All right, later.